All right, guys, let's take a look in the boatboard.com bait cooler and see what we got. Oh, we got some carcasses. That's good. We also got some chicken. Oh, nectar of the gods, some diet sun drop. Love the little bait basket there. Let's get back here, get this stuff checked out. Yeah, a couple different baits. We're going to go with chicken, traditional bait, goods, just fish finder. And we got some crappie carcasses that we're going to use. The plan today, cover some water, see if we can find some fish. It's early spring. Fish have not moved into where they should be as far as the spring fishing. Water temperatures are still mid-50s, so it's not ideal. But man, the weather's beautiful. It's going to be nice today. I've actually got on some shorts and Crocs. Let's get these things baited up and get them out in the water. I've got these Catch the Fever medium action rods that I'm going to put out. The white rods are going to have the chicken, and I am downsizing these baits relatively small. They're not tiny, but they're relatively small. Everything's on a Santee rig, and I'll put these out on the starboard side. I'm downsizing because, well, I'm just hoping I can incite a bite is what it comes down to. Like I said, the bite's been pretty slow recently, so I just maybe downsizing baits will help get some fish to feed if they're not feeding heavily. Sometimes that will pay off. Boom, that one. We'll put this one out on a planer board out to the side. By the way, one of the PC Fun Chaos XS60 reels, a little bit bigger one than some of these other older ones that I've got. I got a link in the description where you can check them out. And we'll be using the alpha boards. People have been asking me how I like them. I'm gonna be honest with you, I've not caught enough fish on them to tell whether I like them or not. The bite has been just typical winter bite, slow. We're coming into spring. I probably will upgrade my clips. I'll show you what I'm talking about there in a minute. I like the red clips. They're heavier than the boards I was using. And what I'm wanting to see is, oh, that was almost a perfect pitch. I'm wanting to see if that makes a difference in the hookup ratio. So far, like I said, the bite has not been consistent enough to tell whether it is or not. But let's get the rest of them baited up in the water, see if we can catch a fish. All right, dropped a perch rod, and I've got somebody on there. Let's see what we got. I marked a few scattered perch. I think what's happening with the perch right now is they're making a migration, setting up for do some pre-spawn stuff. And these fish are scattered. I haven't seen any in several days out here that are stacked up, which is normal for this time of the year. But they're making some of their moves, and what that can mean for catfish fishermen is that some of the catfish go with them when they do that. It's what ends up pulling a lot of these catfish into these creeks and also into some of the river sections. So as you start to see these fish go basically what I would call upstream, which is what they would naturally do in the wild if they were coming in from the ocean, which they're a saltwater fish, it kind of, I think, dictates some of the movement. So I like to keep a perch rod out just to see what's going on, see where the fish are, see if they're stacked up, see if they're feeding, see if I'm getting males or females. And the other thing is, action brings action. So if you got some fish feeding, you got some fish eating, I think that may spark a bite with other fish. So we'll see. Big old ball of bait right underneath the boat right now. There's a couple of predator fish around it. Don't know if they're perch or spotted bass or what, but we'll see if one of them hits the bait, and we'll put a few more in the tank. Excellent to eat, even better for bait. I don't know, maybe they're better to eat and excellent for bait. Anyway, I like catching them. All right, I'm gonna check this middle rod right here. I had a couple rods get hung up a second ago. One of them broke off. I seen a float come to the surface. So I'm gonna check it and make sure it's still got its float on there. And I'm also gonna swap out this clip and show you what I'm talking about here on these planer boards, what I like and what I don't like about them. Everything about them, I mean, I like the fact that they stow so very easily, but the clip is one of the things that I like these clips better. You can see there's a difference. This one has a locking arm on it. So the good news is, by design, these things are very easy to swap out. As you can see, that was just on there like that. It's got a little clip on it. Very, very easy to swap these clips out. The good news is you can even do this in a trip. You know, if you were out here and let's say you switch species from, I don't know, maybe fishing for catfish to going to striper or some other species, maybe walleye to something else where you need the spring clips that you want to pop loose. It's real easy to do. Feel like the float's on there. Yep, float's on there, as is a piece of the limb off of whatever that was we got hung into. So we're good to go there, but everything else works pretty much the same on them. The clips onto the line, got a basic little snap there at the back. The biggest selling point on these things for me is that right there, that arm folds down. Believe it or not, it makes a heck of a difference when it comes to storing these things, especially for you guys on the kayak. So, but these clips go into there and this locks down onto your line. I like this. This is a personal preference for me. Honestly, it's the great thing about them is you can swap them out from, you know, one board to another, or you know, use different clips. There's all different weights on the clip, so that in itself isn't a deal breaker or deal maker with the board. So that's just something that comes with all planer boards that you can swap out. I like the red ones. I'm gonna put another clip on one of these when I bring it in. And for now, I want to see some of these boards catch a fish. Like I was saying, I've not had a lot of experience catching fish because since I've been using them, we have not caught that many fish. Ironically, a bunch of the fish we've caught have been anchored up and we're not using them. So I want to see how they do bite wise. Tried them in the wind. I'll have some videos on that, but for now, just want to catch a catfish. Boom, finally a good bite. A good bite, finally hooked up. That's a better fish. I actually heard that when I was over there uploading a short, and I heard zit, zit, zit. Oh, it's nice to see a rod actually get slammed good. Is that one on that one too? Yep, that's one on the planer. Oh, that's a better fish too. We got two good fish here, guys. Look at that rod going. Oh, I don't know which one to go with. Need to get this perch rod in. Heck yeah. We must have hit a little pocket of fish. I had a few arches on the screen. We're straddling the channel edge right now. Get this up out of the way. There we go. Boom. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Get the net. Might have us an old double pitcher here in a minute. We'll see. We'll see. It's the first time I've seen one of those planer boards really get nailed since I got them too. That's kind of cool. I think to do good. These are both on the chicken side of the boat, by the way. I'm gonna try working him. Go around the multi-bar here. Multi-bar rod holders, they're hard to beat, guys. They're really hard to beat. Heck yeah. See what we got, see what we got. Straight up and down, about 20 feet down right now. Easing him up. It's a better fish. Better fish. Nice, nice, nice. Medium action rod. These are some of the first Big Cat Fever white rods that ever came out. And I love the action on them. There he comes. Good looking fish. It's wrapped. Oh yeah, there he is. He is into another line. He may be into the planer board line. We'll see. Which one? Nope, he's into that inside one. So there is one still out on that planer. Let's get this fish in. get him out of the net, and then deal with the other one. Oh, covered in mud. Covered in mud. Remember we talked about that. That's a good example right there of fish that are covered in it. Chicken bait. In case y'all think I'm lying to you. Trust me, I've had people say, oh, he's catching them on cut bait and just center chicken. I don't have a chicken sponsorship right now. Don't put that out of the question though. Let's boom, boom, get that off there, boom. There we go. There we go, almost untangled. All right, trying to deal with the mess, guys. Deal with the mess. Get this one over here out of the way. That's up off of that. And out of the, lay him over onto the carpet there. There we go. Let's see if that fish stayed hooked up now. I know that he did. Yeah, there he is. This is what I wanted to see, was how these boards swim. The old ones, I was used to what a bite felt like on the board. Definitely goes back like a good fish, and when you're bringing them in, you can tell too, it just doesn't want to come. Nice, nice. Heck yeah, guys. I gotta get that off the back of the boat. Again, this is that PC Fun reel, the 60 size. Let's board off. This one has a gray clip. Definitely no issues with the hookup on that one, that's for sure. He's gonna realize he's hooked now. He's actually coming toward the boat. Boom. Boom. Nice, nice. Drag's good, yeah. I got a bass fisherman over here, that's why I'm talking kind of low. He's over here watching. He's put his rod down. He's watching now. He is just watching the freak show. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Heck yeah. This is what I've been waiting for. Good smooth drag on this thing. Check my boat speed. Yep, let's knock it down a notch. Covered a lot of water to get these fish. A lot of water. Ironically, both on chicken. Try to bring him back over this way a little bit. Not. A lot of fish in here suspended too. There he is. That's another good one. That's another 30-pound fish. Oh yeah. Boom. In the net. Heck yes. I'll tell you what, the drought of fishing that I've had, that made up for it. Those two back to back made up for it. Oh, that one's a little heavier. Oh yeah. I'm still wadded up in the net. One in the teens, one high 20s. Thought he was 30, maybe 20s, high 20s. Get a look at this one. We'll get him back. Oh yeah. Like I said, a lot of mud on these fish. There it is. Enough of there. A lot of mud on them. A lot of mud. Good looking fish. A sign of inactivity, generally speaking. Yep, good fish. Get that one back. Let's get the big one. Let's get this big one. Let's take a look at this big one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Get this rod out of the way. Heck yeah. All the stuff off. Easy. That'll hurt you doing that, fish. Easy. There he is. Heck yeah, guys. Good fish. Good one. Good blue cat. About 30 pounds. Good belly on him. I love it. Heck yeah. Get him back alive. All right, guys, so what happened there? Why did I catch those fish? Good fish, back to back. Well, I think part of it was, it looks like those baits were right around the top of a river channel. I'd come up out of the river channel, had drug it for a while, didn't really catch anything, marked some fish. Came up to the top, was kind of straddling it. And by the time I got hooked in the fish, caught them, marked, it looked like those baits were right at the top of a river channel. Coincidentally, that's where the crappie have been hanging out here on the lake. We think they should be up in a creek by now, but they have not been. So there's a chance that those fish could have been feeding on crappie, feeding on perch, feeding on whatever the crappie are feeding on. Who knows? It's just where they happen to be and where I happen to catch them. It does show you that sometimes you just got to cover water. I've trolled a long way. I trolled a long way yesterday fishing, and it was a bad bite. Today, the bite's not on fire. This is not good fishing. I caught 2 good fish, but this is not what I call killing them or tearing them up, or it's a great bite. Caught 2 good fish, but the bite's slow. So sometimes that's what it takes. Covering some water. If you're bank fishing, sitting there and waiting on them to feed and waiting on them to move. But like I said, that one had a lot of mud on it. You could tell those fish have probably been in an inactive stage. Are all the fish coming off and starting to feed? Don't know. Those were, for whatever reason. And again, were those fish feeding together? Or did the excitement of the one fish taking a bait, and they can sense when there's, you know, that aggression going on, they hit it, they're swimming off with it. Did that incite a bite in the other fish? Who knows? Who knows what the deal is there? But it worked. That's why I like keeping the perch rod in the water. I think sometimes those the perch rods either tell you where the perch are, or and there can be catfish around them, or sometimes I just think the action of fish hitting those baits makes a difference. So 2 good ones. We're going to keep pulling through here, see if there's any more, and do what we do, try to catch fish. All right, guys, I think there's a fish on this smaller planer, or inside planer, I should say. I seen the rod bouncing. Yeah, he's there. He's there. He's there. This is a cut bait, by the way, guys. These are Catfish Pro reels. And the Zach Royce Big Cat Fever rods. Go to either one of these websites, catfishpro.com or catchthefever.com. Either one of them, use the promo code CATFISH. You'll save some money if you decide to buy one. As for the catfish, I can't do you any good on that one. There ain't no place to go buy them. Well, unless you're dealing with a pay lake, and that's a different animal. So anyway, I digress. We're hooked up on a planer board again. Got to see the planer board hookup action on it. Good hookup right there. Boom, go around them and bring it to this side. Feels like a decent fish. I'm all fish now, not planer board. That's good. This one is one that I put the red clip onto. Got another clip over there I need to put out. Keep that line tight. There we go. Man, I'm happy to be getting bit. I'll tell you what. And I pulled back up onto, this is right where it starts to roll down into deeper waters where this fish came at. So I don't know. I don't know if I've just found some fish. I'm definitely fishing a different area than I've been fishing. There's a lot of variables. I'm just happy to catch some fish, so that's a good sign. Let's see what this baby looks like. Decent fish. Heck yeah. They come up looking yellow. I'm thinking they're flatheads. It's just the mud that's on them. Another good one. Get off of their net. There we go. Good fish. It's one of the smaller baits. Boom. And the net. I see mud on his belly already, guys. I see the mud already on the belly. I'm telling you, I think these fish may be coming out of a lethargic period here. Let's get him in the boat. That's a good one. Heck yeah. A lot of mud, a lot of mud, a lot of mud. Yes, sir. Come here. Come here, sassy. Piece of cut bait. Heck yeah. Mud on the belly, mud on the side. Fishing rod in the way. Still can see it though. Is there mud on that side? Oh yeah, mud on that side. One toward the camera. Making some noise. Good fish. Bag of line. Doink. Well, man, there's a good fish on a cut bait and on a planer board. Kind of the same situation. Was right up on one of those steeper ledges. Was starting to roll off of it, and that's when that fish hit. That was on the deeper side of the boat. Those planer boards were out further toward the deeper water, so maybe he was further down the slope. Who knows? But good to have that one. Piece of cut bait, and we're picking off some fish. This is, like I said, better than the past couple of days where I've been out here fishing, where it has been a true struggle just to find some fish. So I can't complain. Is the mud a factor? Is it showing something? It could be. You'll see this in different places. You know, you see it more with flatheads because they tend to lay on the bottom, and that happens a little more often, a little more commonly. The blues, you tend to see it again when there's been a bad bite or there is a bad bite. So this is nice to see a couple of decent fish that, you know, maybe they're coming out of this stage, this phase. We do have a full moon. Last night was a full moon, kind of coming into that phase. Maybe that had something to do with it leading up to it. I don't know. I've tried fishing in the middle of the day, so I've tried to stomp out all the bad juju that is typically attached to a full moon, and it hadn't worked. So sometimes things just slow down. Sometimes there's just feed cycles to where you're not there when the feed cycle happens, or you're in the wrong place, and that can happen. So we got a good spread going. You know, this is a good way to figure out what's going on. I know the chicken thing, I'll put it to you this way. At Catfish Conference this year, 5 years ago, it was a joke, me using chicken. Now, it's amazing how many people are using it and how many tournaments anglers are weighing in fish caught on it. So it's a little change. Again, it's like anything. It's not a cure-all. It is not the best bait, but it may be the best bait on a particular day. It may be the bait you need on that particular day, that particular body of water. So it's why I've got it out here along with cut bait. I've got some big chunk baits out there as big as my hand. Nothing's touched them. You know, we may not have caught a fish. You know, me personally, as a guide, a charter captain, and as a fisherman and angler, I'm not willing to drag around baits the size of my hand for 4 or 5 days and not catch a fish to catch one fish. For some people, that's fine. If that's the way you like to fish, so be it. That's awesome. My problem is I catch just as many big fish on the smaller baits as I do the giant hand-sized baits. Well, I actually catch way, way, way more. So they're not always feeding on that stuff is what I'm getting at. And I think today's a good example. Out of all the baits out there, they've hit the smallest baits we've got. So sometimes they do that. Why? Don't know. There's probably some stuff with the biology of what's going on with the fish that we don't totally understand, and that's what leads to it. So all you can do is fish and, you know, change things up. Where you're able to fish with multiple rods. Not all states can do that. We're blessed to be able to do this in the Carolinas. A lot of you guys can't do that. So we can try a variety of baits, a variety of sizes, just to see what's working. You know, if you're restricted to a rod or 2 rods on the bank, you know, you'll be able to try it for a little bit, but if you want to experiment, you got to pull baits in. That can be a bad thing. That means you can be pulling baits away from fish that may be coming. So it's different. But get out and fish, vary the baits up, vary the sizes. Big things, be patient, especially as it starts to get warm. We're all impatient, man. We get out here, you know, again, I'm in a pair of shorts today. I'm ready for spring. Sometimes the fish ain't quite in spring mode yet, and you got to wait for that to happen. But man, when it does, it can happen quickly and it can turn on quickly. And that's why I say fish often, fish a lot, fish often, and hopefully you can be there when it happens. So yeah, what does the mud mean? Well, generally it's a sign of fish that have been inactive for some period. Listen, it's all theory. It's all just conjecture and guessing, because nobody's down there with them. But there is a correlation between bad bites, slow bites, and then the transition to fish feeding and them having mud on them. Or when the bite is really bad, the few that you do catch have mud on them. So, you know, why is that? I've heard all kinds of theories on it. Oh, it's warmer in the mud, it's colder in the mud, and there may be a little logic to that, because it happens in the summer, the winter, the fall, the spring, all the time. It's like they hit periods where they are just inactive, and we're in one of those periods right now. You know, you're out here in beautiful, what I consider beautiful weather coming out of the winter that we've had, and it's like, man, fish ought to be biting. Well, they're a little bit behind our schedule. You know, they're not adapting as quick. These temperature fluctuations are not holding. You know, we hit 60-degree water yesterday, but we're out here this morning after a cool night and it's 57. So, you know, it's not holding there yet. You know, more and more days, more and more daylight, spring gets further and further in spring, those temperatures will go up, those fish will start become active, but they're still almost in a late winter pattern. And it can change at any time, and I'll be honest with you, it can happen kind of quickly in the springtime. So you just got to be out here and fish. So, and that's what we're doing. We're just covering some water and trying to find some fish, trying to find a pattern that actually works. We got one catfish. We've caught a perch. So it's not a zero by any means, but we're not on fire. We're gonna see if we can figure out what's going on. I'm trying more of a late winter pattern of where I'm fishing now compared to what I've tried the past couple of days that hadn't produced. There go our local police boat, and we'll see if it works. We'll see if it pays off.